Hello and welcome to a match of Dota 2. That's right. Match in the middle of the day for StarLadder. We are gonna have a match to decide which one of these two teams is gonna be able to take the spot of 25 in StarLadder. Now, as you can see, there is a team actually called 25, but they have been mixing around players a bit. So, for example, we do have PGG in 25 right now. And both of these teams felt like they could be taking on the spot of 25 in StarLadder. Well, then there's only one way to find out which one is more deserving for that spot. That's right, very mature. Let's fight over it, right? So it's a best out of 3 between 25 and CP, or Chlamydia Psittaci. Probably just an STD anyways. But a best out of 3, this is game number 1. And, well, the impact that this game will have is like, okay, the loser will not be in StarLadder. And you have to realize that StarLadder combines of 3 components. So you have Amateur Series, Pro Series, and Star Series. So we have got this 25 was in Star Series. They ended up in 4th place, I believe, fourth lowest. So not the lowest, but then like 4 from the low, you know what I mean. So very low on the rankings. And they have to play a regulation match. Or at least, the winner of this one has to. Because even if you're the winner of this match, you will still have to play a relegation match to actually stay in the Star Series, otherwise you'll be dropped down to Pro Series. Then again, the loser of this is not in Pro Series nor Star Series unless they pass through a qualifier. Because you might be asking, like, okay, you know what? I know Star Series had We as Asian in it. They actually did pretty well. And they stay, like, if they would still be here, they would have stayed in Star Series. But who is going to take their spot? Because of course they disbanded. So there's going to still be qualifiers for that. So that's still a hope that these teams may be having. Though I do believe that those qualifiers are based on invite rather than for signing up. Anyways, for now, first, best out of 3. Which one of these two teams is more deserving for the spot of 25 in StarLadder, to decide which one of these two teams is going to be able to play that regulation match later today at 6 actually. Versus a team called Sex. First, CP25. So we have a Lone Druid being banned out. If you're thinking like, okay, you know what, it's a normalish ban in a way that it is a hero that you don't really want to fight against, etc, etc. But Seedoy is actually a player that plays a lot of Lone Druids, and you don't really want to face it Lone Druid. So they banned that one out. We also have an Undying ban out, Nyx Assassin Batrider, basically forced to be banned out by CP because, of course, the first pick went to 25. They picked up the Keeper of the Light as the first one, managed to get a Phantom Lancer and a Magnus, since the Darkseer and the Shadow Demon were picked up by CP as their first 2 picks. So 25 already looking strong, or at least having that team fight, having a strong lane with a Keeper of the Light Phantom Lancer, possible dual lane, possible tri lane, everything is possible. For their for the Keeper of Light Phantom Lancer lane so far, and CP thinks, you know what, we should also have a strong lane, so they're gonna have a Shadow Demon Luna. Now they could be a dual lane, but they could also be a tri lane, so the possibilities for them, same thing. So if we look at this right now, in theory they could have exactly the same Magnus Darkseer off lanes, though of course we've seen Magnus and Darkseer mid lanes as well, you know, there's multiple possibilities there. And Keeper of Light Phantom Lancers dual lane, and Shadow Demon Luna dual lane, or potentially both of them having a tri lane. Which is very interesting because it basically says that they need a bit of the same roles of heroes that, yeah, they need a bit of the same roles of heroes. So they're gonna ban out heroes that the opponent would pick up, but they have to be careful not to ban out anything that they might want to pick up, or to force the opponent to pick something up that maybe they didn't want to, but since something else is banned out, they're gonna pick something up that the other team would have liked to pick up. So it's very tricky now for bans. We see a Nature's Prophet and a Lifestealer being banned out by 25. So some global presence being banned out there, and Lifestealer, a bit interesting to see that, since of course there's already a Luna there, but well, they might be expecting a dual lane still there, as we saw yesterday a team do that as well. Queen of Pain being banned out, mid lane hero, that's just very generic, as in generic hero that you just don't want to face mid. She is strong against almost every single hero in that mid lane. We have a Rubik and a Brewmaster being banned out by CP, and one of them is a support Rubik, probably. If you have a Rubik Keeper of Light, I mean, Rubik can just set up telekinesis to make sure that the Illuminate from Keeper of Light hit regardless. So that is indeed a very nice hero to be banning out, and they apparently don't want to pick him up. there is plenty of support still left. Normally with the Shadow Demon you would want something with a stun that you can set up with, for example, a Leshrac or Lina stun like that. Maybe even something like a support gyrocopter could work out, because you can walk up to your target and start a rocket barrage, but there's a lot of heroes that would do the same thing there. Even an Earthshaker, as we saw yesterday. Windrunner being banned out, another solo hero being banned out by CP. Apparently they might be expecting Magnus to be a solo mid for them for 25, as they ban out that long lane. And we're having a Templar Assassin who's gonna be mid, probably because he just got picked up, and it will be on the side of 25. So that is probably saying, you know, Magnus is gonna be solo, Templar Assassin mid, Keeper of Light, Phantom Lancer, duo or tri-lane. And even if they have a tri-lane, they might even opt to go for an aggressive tri-lane. Though normally you'd see a Phantom Lancer on the safe lane, because he does just need a lot of farm to get his mojo going, so to say. By the way, in case you haven't noticed, we have got 0 reserve time on the side of 25. That's because, of course, PGG was a bit late. This game therefore started later, and that's the penalty that they got. Minus 90 seconds of bonus time, which is basically every bonus time seconds that you have. All the bonus time seconds that you have. So no bonus time for 25, but they still managed to pick up a nice lineup, and I do like it. And they can get to use the bonus time that CP is using, because as you can see, CP only has 16 seconds left. And that means they used a lot of their bonus time. Bonus time that 25 could also use to their advantage to think a bit more about what they actually want to do. And there's that Leshrac. As said, he's a good combination together with that Shadow Demon Luna to help out with that. A lot of burst damage able to go through with the Lucent Beam. Lightning perhaps picked up by Leshrac as well. And if you then have a Soul Catcher on there, that's gonna be painful. But from the looks of it right now, I would almost say that we're gonna have to save tri-lanes. Secretly, of course, I hope that there's going to be aggressive tri-lanes, because we like to see aggression. Come on, it's 2 Russian teams. And there's the Lina still, this time on 25 though. Interesting to note that she is basically the only real stun that 25 has right now. I mean, of course, they have got the Mana Leak. You can call that a bit of a stun. And they've got the slow from the Phantom Lancer. Reverse Polarity, definitely a stun, but you can't really count on that all too often. Lina's stun is of course nice, but you have to be able to hit it. She doesn't really have anything to follow up on, like for example the Shrek has with the Shadow Demon. But we'll see how she is going to be able to do here. CP thinking about their last pickup, probably still need a mid lane hero. Since the Queen of Pain is already out, which is one of the stronger heroes against the Templar Assassin, they're probably not going to be having a very great time mid, unless they put the Darkseer mid and put something else top, which might just be the case. Enigma top lane, that's possible. Enigma could even be mid lane, yeah. We've seen that before. We've seen Enigma soloing mid lane up against Templar Assassins as well. You might say, okay, you know what, that's a bit odd, but he does have his Eidolons, and the Eidolons are actually able to harass quite a bit and also pop off that refraction from the Templar Assassin. So possibilities are plenty for CP, and of course if you're thinking a team fight potential for these two teams, you've got a Black Hole, a Calypso on one side, and of course not to forget the Darkseer with a vacuum into Black Hole, or you know, Darkseer Wall, etc. It's a lot of nice teamfight coming out from CP. On the other side, you've got Illuminate, should not be underestimated. Reverse Polarity, very strong of course, and if you have the teamfight, then you can have a Reverse Polarity. If it's a good one, followed up with that Lina Stone Dragon Slave, that's a lot of damage over the top of that one. So I do like it, but if you look at pure teamfight, I would actually say, even with the Magnus on 25, I would say CP is a bit in favor of teamfight right now. We'll find out at some point in the game though. But yeah, once again, for the people that watched the VOD and skipped the draft, this is a best out of 3 to decide which one of these two teams is gonna be able to take the spot of 25 in StarLadder. Will it be 25 that kept the name of 25 even though changing the roster slightly, or will it be CP that has some of the members of the former 25 and feel justified that they should be having the 25 spot in StarLadder? And of course the winner of this match will have to face up against Sex later this evening. Yes, it is indeed the name Sex. I did not mispronounce that one. And it will be the relegation match to decide if they're going to be in Star Series or Pro Series. So that's not sure yet. It's just to stay in StarLadder, be that Star Series, be that Pro Series, just to be in there. So let's see who's playing what. We've got Basil's Perfect playing the Luna. He will be on the bottom lane. Probably on with that trial lane with Yol playing the Shadow Demon. It will be Hardy playing the Leshrac, so that's a trial lane on the bottom lane. It will be Enigma who looks to be going into the jungle. They're looking to leave the top lane entirely open by the looks of it, and that's a good call. If it's going to be a trial lane with the Lina, with the Phantom Lance and her Keeper of Light, I mean, it's a very annoying situation to deal with anyways. And if you're thinking, you know what, we're not going to win that lane anyway, and our Enigma would be getting more inside that jungle, then you might as well just do that. And Enigma will be played, of course, by Seedoy. As you can see, mid lane is going to be Stellianer, and he will be playing the Darkseer up against PGG, who is going to be playing the Templar Assassin. And that is the first player of 25 hereby introduced. Let's take a look at the rest there. We've got ZXC playing the Magnus. He is going to be pulling together with the Keeper of Light, who's played by Solo this game. And they can do this. I mean, they kind of have to, because they don't want to steal experience from their carry, who's going to be Nexus on his Phantom Lancer. They can't roam around for kills just yet. That's not the combination that you have there. And Dread Lina on the top lane as well. He's going to be pulling and stacking by the looks of it. And of course, again, because he thinks, you know what, I'm not going to be doing anything on the tri lane anyway, I might as well just go into the jungle. So we got the same situation on both teams, very even, as in very even in terms of role distribution. It is 3 heroes in the jungle, 2 heroes on the lane, 1 lane open. Who's going to be coming out ahead? I'm not entirely sure, though I do believe Enigma is, of course, one of the the hardest farmer inside that jungle. He can farm fastest inside that jungle with those Iolons, so he will be having a bit of a leg up there. As of course, I mean, Keeper of Light should not be underestimated. He can actually be jungling as well with his Illuminate. If he had a bit of more different items, maybe with a bit more clarity, he would be able to solo by himself. Maybe not the same as an Enigma, but he is actually able to get levels with that as well. So we've seen, for example, Kuroki do earlier, well, actually, previous year, last year, 2013. Leshrac picked up an invisibility rune. Let's see if he's gonna be able to do something here. I'm not sure if he can, though, because hello, gonna be walking past the sentry, and there's the exclamation mark instantly. So here he comes, and you know, PGG is not going to let himself get caught out. He backs off. He realizes that. He also saw the rune being picked up to begin with, because he of course has that ward there. Talking about wards, we have got wards for 25, and of course also for CP. They're not really countering each other's wards. They have got one for the rune spot on both teams have one on the bottom rune. So they will be both having control there, and even the wards are the same. Like on the lane, see if someone shows up. On the lane, see if someone shows up. These two teams, I mean, you know, you're talking about 2 teams that are fighting for the same spot. And these 2 teams have, of course, been team members for a very long time, or at least a couple of them have, so they know how they think. But that also means that they're fairly the same. And you just see that back. They have got the same mindset, same wards, same composition, as in having some team fight, having a carry for later on that also can push. I like it. It's just it's basically the same strategy versus the same strategy, which just doesn't happen all that often. I mean, well, of course it does happen, but not in this sense, I feel like. Here it comes, first initiation though is PGG, Leshrac stun. There's no escape from this, that's the first blood. Shadow Demon and Leshrac roaming around. Of course, they can be a bit more aggressive earlier on than the Lina and the Keeper of Light can, purely because of the disable that they have. And we actually have got ZXC, who's instantly here to defend the tower and also get some extra experience that he can pick up here while PGG is away. But yeah, it's just who is executing this strategy better than the other team, and that is the perfect way to decide which team is worthy to fill the shoes of the spot in StarLadder that is open up for grabs for the winner of this best out of 3. As we see the highest last hits right now, it is the Phantom Lancer. He's on the top lane, of course. He's just happily free farming. We can compare him to the Luna. The difference is not that big though, like it's only 3 last hits. So far, fairly even, I would say. In the jungle though, the massive difference, you see that instantly. You see that the Enigma is high on last hits. We have to realize those are last hits in the jungle. Jungle creeps means less gold. So 32 last hits, you know, it's a great number and everything like that, but you know, you have to take into account that it's less. Oh, look at like this. They're gonna try to do it again. PGG this time though, aware. It's got the ward right there. He's realizing something is wrong. He's actually going all the way back. Solo standing by just in case. Edict. If they can't get a kill, they might as well try to take a tower. And this is just a difference in heroes. I mean, Leshrac, Shadow Demon, able to be a bit more aggressive earlier on. Illuminate going through, Shockwave going through, and there's a score as well. That's a kill going the way of 25. They want to go for more. Lina stun, it's on 2, Dread! Perfect Light Strike Array. Illuminate going through. That's another one down. Hardy dropping to the Illuminate, and StarLadder, the only one able to get away with boots of mana, and of course using his bottle charges to get away. And he's gonna let the courier pick that one up because it's empty. Great counter initiation from 25. They were ready for it. The overextension from CP, thinking they might be able to take a tower even after we're scouted out, and they weren't anticipating on 25 actually going in aggressive on that, but it paid off. 25 got 2 kills on the board right now. As PGG is gonna land some harassment on StarLadder. He has to be careful though, no more refraction because it was already popped off by the Iron Shell. But so far he's just fine, and he's still got 2 bottle charges as well. While there's no bottle right now up on StarLadder, so he's gonna be playing it extra careful until he actually has that. In the meantime, bottom lane getting pushed out here as well. CP wanted to take down the tower. In the meantime, ZXC comes in to make sure that it's going to be taking a bit extra time than it normally would if there wasn't a hero to defend this.
Bottom tower is under attack.
But Leshrac coming in with a level 1 Edict. Even though it's only level 1, it helps out a lot in damage on the tower. So it's even if it's level 1, it's definitely a good one to have. As in the meantime, tower is almost in the 9 range on this middle lane. Vacuum in, PGG, trouble, pops an invisibility rune, has to juke this. He's able to do that though. Bottle charge is still there as well, but the bottle charge is already on Darkseer as well. The dive goes on. No dive. Wow. Awkward. No dive, because I thought that was a dive. Exclamation marks just coming out to defend that tower. As PGG is being very careful again. Refraction might save his life, but you know, with that Iron Shell, he shouldn't count on it. He definitely shouldn't. In the meantime, Gold Graph goes the way of CP purely for the fact that they are farming more because of that Enigma that is in the jungle. Tower drops, Darkseer picking up the gold for that one, as ZXC standing by. Yeah, it's got a reverse polarity, so the levels are there. Vacuum in there. He is gonna try to go for a reverse polarity being used. Damage going through. StarLadder able to try and get away. There's a surge. Leshrac helping out. Illuminate not reaching StarLadder, and that is a reverse polarity used to no avail, no kill. And this is one of those heroes that as soon as you're level 6, you know, you go, oh my god, I got reverse polarity, I want to use it. Because you should be able to get a kill with it. Nope. Not this time though. This time it is ZXC that goes home empty-handed. No kill for him. And StarLadder is probably very happy he was able to, well, at least make sure that the, well, it wasn't really baited out, but, you know, the reverse polarity was used and he didn't die. In the meantime, looks like 25 also wants to get a bit of a push going on the top lane. Though, and it's gonna be Psittaci that's gonna try and defend this. He does have, of course, those Eidolons that can help out defend the tower. But it is a big push coming, and I'm not sure if he actually can be able to do that. Here also comes the Darkseer, gonna try to do something here. Fortification goes off from the sidelines. Leshrac might be on the way as well. It's just an illusion, though. But they think it's the real one, and they back off. They have got that ward there. Yeah. In the meantime, Templar Assassin finds himself a Shadow Demon, so that's gonna be PGG picking up. Yol was not able to get away. No support there either, because the Luna is deciding to be middle lane instead, where he got a bit more free farm since ZXC was still on the bottom lane. Illuminate's flying through. They're still not giving up on this tower push right here. 300 HP left. StarLadder looking to go in. He can, not with that Illuminate flying through constantly. But they're just gonna try to push. There's a lot of AoE damage abilities here on 25 though, they have to be careful. Dragon Slave and Illuminates not to be messed with. From the side there also comes Luna, he wants to use his Eclipse, but look where he walked past. That Centaur, I mean, he has a tiny bit of vision and he stood right on top of it. And they realize he's there, they know exactly what he's aiming to do, and they are ready for it. They have got the reverse polarity again upon the Magnus mana given to him by the Keeper of the Light, and they want to take this, they want to try to go for a fight. Bait it out. Keeper of the Light standing back. It is nighttime, of course. Doesn't matter for Basil though. He got a bit of extra vision there. But it looks like he's giving up. And he's gonna go for the mid lane instead. PGG is gonna be the target. 2 stacks of of Shadow Poison up on him. But he's not gonna die from that one. They do counter ward that was there. From the side, here actually comes StarLadder thinking about going. Nice dupe by PGG though. He's able to get himself away. In the meantime, top lane going through. It is Psittaci that is in a lot of trouble as well. StarLadder. Psittaci drops. Next is picking up the kill. Now StarLadder on the way out. Here comes Yol trying to make sure nobody else dies on his team. He has, of course, got the disruption. Hello, Basils! A Calypso picks up the Keeper of Light, but the reverse polarity use and the disruption to save his life. Is it enough? No, it is not. He dies. Nexus picking up the kill. StarLadder in the midst of all of this with an Iron Shell picks up the Lina. Can he do more? I don't think he can, because here comes PGG. Trap at the ready. Surge away for Yol. Can he go for someone else? I don't think so. That Iron Shell is just too painful and he dies. Hardy with the right click picking up that kill. 4 for 5. And the top lane is where it's happening right now. Everybody on the top lane. 5 heroes from CP here. 4 from 25 because of course PGG is dead right now. Reverse polarity already used. Eclipse already being used. No Darkseer wall yet up on the Darkseer. So they don't want to be going for this fight just yet. Not when they have to fight under the Tower of 25.
You keep the light.
Level 9 up on this Phantom Lancer right now. And he's got his Diffusal Blade. That should be the start of him being maybe a bit more aggressive. As it looks like PGG and ZXC are looking for a kill for Basils. And there goes a trap. Shockwave going through. Can they chase him? Drums being used up on the Luna. Basil trying to get himself away. Will there be enough? There's no Skewer anymore. No Blink Dagger. No kill. Here comes StarLadder though. They want to take it back. Vacuum back in with you. Loosen beam up on ZXC and Shrek is done to finish it up. PGG this time able to get himself away. ZXC not so lucky. And that's gonna be a tier 1 tower going down. The second one on the side of 25. Towers are still 1 tower only in favor of CP though, because the tier 1 tower top did take a fall. Had to happen at some point, right? Had to happen at some point. In the meantime, we take a look at the net worth for now. As we see that it is actually Nexus that is highest on top of there. He's died 0 times and he's got 2 kills, no assists. So he is doing just fine on that gold chart. In the meantime, the Darkseer, who is second highest, has been in 4 kills of his team. 4 kills out of 5. We have StarLadder around there. And he didn't die yet either. And he is actually a bit higher on farm than his carry, which is the Luna, who did of course die. Has been in 3 of the 5 kills so far. Wow, I have to take a sip of water because my voice is otherwise going to be annoying. 2 seconds. Let's look at Hardy in the meantime, right? There we go. That's a lot better. The Keeper of the Light maybe building towards some urn if he wants to. He has of course got the gauntlets, but you know he just wants HP to be fair, so he's fine with that. Got some wards. We have of course got the Magnus, who's now been getting some more farm up, so might be looking for a Blink Dagger soon, or at least mana boots, even though, you know, he doesn't really need mana boots with that guy hanging around him all the time. Very nice of course to have that. If you have the Magnus and of course Phantom Lancer, both heroes that are not intelligence heroes, do need that mana to spam out their abilities. You have a Keeper of the Light on your team. That's just very nice to have. The same goes for the Lina actually. Also no mana boots up on her, just not needed for now. As we have got StarLadder finding solo here. Is he gonna try and chase him? Nope. Doesn't know what he could be running into there. As we have a smoke up for the Shrek Shadow Demon combination, the ganking team, ganking squad.
Top tower is under attack.
They're going their separate ways though. Although Shrek decides, you know what? I want to stick with you anyway. Illuminate flying through, look like they want to try to set something up perhaps. Maybe just on the Magnus. He can, of course, Magnus is one of those heroes that can skewer away. No, they go from the side, place a ward. They know that it's just Keeper of Light there. Shrek's done to follow things up, or start things off rather, and he just goes down on it. You know, that's not really any big accomplishment right there. Solo drops a bit too much out in the open. There is, of course, boards up for the Dire, but that's only on the rush pit. So other than that, they don't have any vision, and they don't have any whereabouts on where CP can be on the map. I mean, the only one that they actually see was the Darkseer just now, and Basils, and the rest was just missing. And now they see everybody top lane, or at least one of them, 2 of them. We have TPs incoming. Last tier 1 tower still standing in 25. I don't think they want to lose it. Illuminates will try to stop the push from coming. Will it be enough though? I am not sure. Illuminate level 3, so is doing a decent amount of damage. The Shrek incoming as well, still level 1 Edict. Magnus has got his reverse polarity up. Laguna Blade up on Lina as well. And the only one not there is PGG, who's in the middle lane trying to get up his farm a bit. He died twice now. And he doesn't want to die again. He wants to get a bit more of his core items up. Though, I mean, he has got his face boots, but he probably just wants his Blink Dagger. which he is building towards.
Radiant's middle
Gem of
tower
True
is
Sight
under
up on
attack.
StarLadder. He feels confident enough. He's been in 5 out of the 6 kills. He's not died yet. He is having a fantastic game. And he is having a lot of farm as well. So he is gonna be ballsy and gonna be carrying that gem around. And if it drops, I mean, they have a lot of map control around there, so that will be the end of all that. The end of all the wards from them, because they've been profiting a lot from that control that they have with those wards. Mechanism, of course, also up on the Darkseer. As you can see, we have got the BKB being built up by Luna.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Basil's
under
going for
attack.
that, going bottom to defend to get some more free farm here, since nobody really is here apart from PGG, who's also still going for his Blink Dagger, as we just saw. Just jumping over the heroes a bit. Talking about Blink Daggers, hello Cedoy, has a Blink Dagger, has got a black hole. Probably wants to go for a team fight fairly soon with that vacuum black hole combination. Leshrack's on over the top. I mean, there's gonna be a big team fight once everything of CP falls in place.
Dire's middle tower is
It's
under
gonna be
attack.
quite big. Got the urn being built up by Leshrack. He also got those 2 gauntlets, just like the Keeper of Light has rather, because he still has that. Last one is Shadow Demon, who doesn't really have anything special apart from a dust that he just popped, and they want to go for that bottom lane, see if Basils can bait something out, and then they go in on it. Basically the thought around that. Looks like they might be successful in baiting something out. 1800 gold up on the TA. PGG, super close to his Blink Dagger, but has to not overextend. So they have to be not falling for this bait, because this is bait. And they go in actually. They want to go for that disruption. PGG knows that something's happening though. He face boots himself away. The CP not following. And now they've been scouted out apart from Leshrack. But they're going to be playing it a bit more safe here also for 25 of course. But they're still hanging around here. Magnus hanging around the corner. They're not farming right now. 1400 gold up on the Magnus. He probably wants to go for that Blink Dagger first too. Apart from like not going for the mana boost just yet purely because of the Keeper of Light being always there. Darkseer invisibility rune. TP's to the top lane, wants to go for that guy. But yeah, there's a gem, I was gonna say. And the black hole comes in next. There's no hope of escaping. Vacuum Darkseer will everything being used for that, but that's a worthy kill. That was the first time that Nexus went down. At the same time, on the bottom lane, Luna was able to pick up the Magnus, so 2 kills on the board going the way of CP. The Calypso being used for that happened at the same time, creating chaos. Like, you can imagine them being on voice chat, right? And then all of a sudden Nexus being ganked, so he says something about that to his team, but at the same time on the bottom lane also ZXC being ganked out there, and you know, 2 people dying at the same time. That's just chaos, nobody able to help each other, and you know, creating a bit of chaos. There's a tier 1 tower fall, so that's the last tier 1 tower that was standing on the side of 25.
Dire's top tower has
So they need to
fallen.
be
Radiant's
giving a
middle
bit more
tower is
pressure
under
to
attack.
their opponents to get some towers for themselves as well, because that's just a big source of income for those supports. And those supports need their gold, because this looks to be a fairly long game. And long games, in long games, those supports are just gonna mean so much later on. Solo, trouble, surge, is there more? There's no spirit form, and that's a kill. Darkseer mega kill, 5 for 0 for 2. No assist, well 2 assists, but no extra assists since the last time we checked anyways. He's still not highest on gold on net worth though. That is still the Phantom Lancer. We haven't really seen him in that many fights apart from the fights that actually happened on the top lane. And he is gonna be that force in the game that like is the anti-fun, right? You know what can happen when there's an anti-mage that's slowly farming up his head for. The same thing can happen with this Phantom Lancer. He can just get big, and at some point there's just nothing you can do apart from having a Luna that's very farmed and can just stand there with bouncing blades. But that's not going to be the case, only at least in theory. The harder carry is the Phantom Lancer. BKB now ready upon Basil though. And he's just farming on the top lane because the lane got pushed in nicely there, giving him some farm. There's a Blink Dagger up on PGG. Do we also have a Blink Dagger? No, not yet on ZXC. Of course he died earlier on. He is gonna try to help out his teammate. Nexus in some trouble again, but here comes the score. Here comes reverse polarity. It is on 3. 1 already down. 2 down. 3 down. And that is the first time that StarLadder died And that is 2 kills going the way of Nexus, able to get some revenge, and a team fight going the way of 25. That's the potential that the Magnus has, and he did it. He made it through, made it come true, and with no Enigma there to help out with his black hole, because it was on cooldown. Not the perfect team fight that CP was waiting for, but definitely a worthy team fight for 25. They didn't lose anything, got some kills up on Nexus. All in all, a win for them. And just slight overextension from CP and trying to think that they could get a kill close to a tier 2 tower from their opponents. Thinking that maybe nobody would TP in, but they should have known that that reverse polarity was up. And now the Blink Dagger is also ready upon the Magnus 25. Able to keep the score even, fairly even. 3k gold in favor of CP still. But, I mean, that's just towers. That is just towers. There's still 1 tower difference. Those towers then kill and a bit of farm. But still, it's not that big a difference. We're now 20 minutes into this game. Experience graph is 2k experience in favor of 25. But again, that's just a bit because CP has been able to roam around a bit more, as in to get more farm all over the map rather than 25. They've been roaming around a bit less. And StarLadder finds himself only the Magnus. Only the Magnus or only the Phantom Blast? I think it was the Magnus. Roshan. The battle for Roshan. Sentry were being placed here as well. The blink out from PTG was instant, and he's actually already up on the top lane, and they're just gonna give Roshan away right now. They don't want to fight in that perfect team fight from a CP, and if you think about their team fight, like everything is better around the Roche pit for CP. Like you have a better black hole because everything is clumped up. You have a better vacuum because everything is clumped up. Better eclipse because no creeps around. You know, everything's better, so you don't want to be fighting in that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So they make the right decision in my opinion, and PTG is actually gonna get called to the mid lane just in case they were continuing to push this, but they don't. They're just gonna be going back as Darkseer looks to be going for a well, what would it be? Shiva's guard, perhaps. As the BKB is being built up by the Enigma, there's nothing really that can break his BKB apart, of course, from the reverse polarity, as in when he's casting a black hole. But then again, if you're going to be blinking in and casting a black hole, you're better damn make sure that there's either reverse polarity on cooldown or you're going to be catching the Magnus in it, because, you know, there's nothing that you want to be seeing there with that reverse polarity still up. So he's well aware of that. A BKB, good choice. In the meantime, Yasha already up on the Luna as well. And it's continuing to try just to get our farm up. I mean, this is just a typical farming game right now. Normally, you know, you have 2 situations that you can have in this stage of the game. So either you know you're ahead and you can continue to fight and push, or you know you're behind and you're playing it safe, not forcing out a fight but trying to split push, at least make sure that your opponent is not really pushing into your base. Or when you think you could fight, but only if it's in your favor, and not go looking on 5-on-5 straight team fight. Which is what these 2 teams have right now. They don't want to be baiting out anything that they can, well, how do you say that properly? They don't want to be really fighting just yet, because they feel like they might be at a disadvantage, they might lose, and if you lose, like, 1 big team fight loss at this stage of the game is very, very, very important. So they're just holding off the boat, so to speak. They're just, okay, that's a Dutch saying. Whatever. They're just waiting and seeing if they can find the perfect situation going for them. And for now, CP is looking for it. They've got that Blink Dagger. They've got all their ultis up. Can they get something going? Can they bait out something from 25? 25, they want to fight, but only when they know that they can win. Not like just now, they backed off from the Roshan pit knowing, you know what? There's nothing we can do here. There's nothing here for us. So they backed off. So they don't really want to fight. In the meantime, Nexus is having a fun time. Disruption trying to save the life of the Leshrac, but I don't think that's gonna work. And that's a killing spree for Nexus, who's gonna be on his way. Still has a double walk on cooldown, but will be safe regardless. A pause as Darkseer disconnected StarLadder. Already walking on his way back to base. But yeah, that's something. I mean, both of these teams also are okay with having this team go to late game. So it's like, you know what? We get a Phantom Lancer. We don't really care what happens now, as long as we don't really die. But late game, we're gonna own you anyway. And the same thing goes for CP. Like, okay, you know what? We've got a... Well, they probably want to be fighting. Like, they have the combination of we have a carry, and we also got a lot more team fight than our opponent does. So as long as we get to fight team fights, we're okay. Split pushes, however, That's bad. So that will lead to CP probably grouping up a bit more than 25 is. 25 will maybe try a bit more 4 plus 1. So 1 being a bit pushy. That's the Nexus. And the others trying to at least, no, not really go for a team fight, but more like keeping the enemy busy with playing with them. Cat and mouse kind of game. What's someone drawing? Is he drawing music? Looks like he's drawing music. Might just be me though. At the same time, there's still a tier 1 tower up, very low. It's actually in the night range. I would expect 25 to go for that fairly soon to just make sure that that tower is going to be in their hands, not going to be able to get denied, and you know, just some solid gold. Like I said, the later the game goes, the more important those supports are going to be. As we look at the item charts for a second. See, the Phantom Lance actually got himself a man style as well, so that's quite nice to have. More illusions. Must have more illusions. Probably gonna go for a heart or something next if he gets the gold. At least that's what you would expect. We're gonna have Keeper of Light almost having his mechanism complete. Just needs the recipe. Quite far away from the recipe though. But it's a Keeper of Light. Keeper of Lights normally are able to get a lot of farm as a support. Being a support, like they get a lot of farm for a support. So normally you don't take farm away from your carry early game, of course, so you're a bit deprived of gold, just like any support. But later on you can get a bit more with just pushing the lanes back where you actually can be a bit pushy. Wow, English today is going really smooth, right? And well, of course, also farm in the jungle. And if you look at map control, 25 has it. Like they've got 2 wards up, and the one in the middle lane having some control there. What's this? It's a sonic trap. Okay, I don't see them. One there, and one there. At the same time, there are wards up for the Radiant team. But then we have this guy, PGG. He has a Gem of True Sight, so those wards will not be lasting that long if they actually realize they're there. Which he won't realize there because it's of course on the high ground. As he's clearing out some ancients. But this one he might realize that it's
Radiant's
there.
bottom tower is under attack.
Only recipe needed for Enigma for his BKB.
Has been denied.
Wow. Tower denied by the Eidolons of Enigma. I was gonna say, Cito just denied a tower, but he was standing right here. How can that be? Darkseer picking up a Blink Dagger as well, so it has that one complete before anything else. Which is quite nice, so it means that they're maybe planning on being a bit more aggressive, so now you don't only have a blinking in Enigma with a black hole, but also a blinking in Vacuum. And Darkseer Wall, of course, not to forget that one. And that means that he could surge someone else, so he doesn't have to surge himself to get in there with the Enigma, but he can surge someone else to make sure that, for example, the Luna is in there also with her Eclipse. In the meantime, I mean, this is Manta Styles. More illusions. This is just illusions. Just illusions. Look at that. Stellianer. Trouble from illusions. If you would have that in a fight, there's not just the Magnus that you're fighting. There's a lot more heroes on the other side, and then it's not just the Nexus, not just the Phantom Man. So there's a lot more heroes on that side. As PGG 3,400 gold, 3,500 gold even, pushing in on the bottom lane by himself, though he has got the help of well, coming in Keeper of the Light, and is now also backing off. A bit too risky for his taste, even for his taste, quite surprising. Let's see if Keeper of Light can steal some of the creeps of the Enigma. Looks like he can. A couple, as Enigma Black King Bar complete, so BKB is there. Now the question is, when are they ready to force a team fight? Or are they gonna try to smoke up and find a team fight? Looks like they are gonna smoke up. They're gonna smoke up. Okay, so we have got the show on the road for the team fight. CP, they have got the BKB, they've got the black hole, they've got the blink daggers. Oh my god, a lot of Bs. Bezel's perfect, also a B. Okay, sorry. But yeah, they're gonna go for this team fight, and the only thing they have to fight? Opponents. Now they realize that there's someone there, but you know, the thing that 25 is, you know, wait a second. Where is our opponent? Where can they be? There they are, but hello, Melina. Well, at least they have someone. Titoy finding the Magnus, but he screws himself up the high ground. How does he do that? Lena, of course, still died, but you know, that was no surprise. She was by herself. But that is the best situation that 25 could find him. Of course, better would be not to have any kills. But if you're gonna have a gank from your opponent team that has a lot more teamfight potential than you do, and they only find a support Lena, that is not a bad thing. I don't get how that skewer actually got him up the high ground though. It was like, got to him till here, and then the game started thinking, you know what? We can place him right here, or we can place him right here. What shall we do? Well, let's place him up the high ground and be nice to ZXC. Well, he's probably very happy with that because he stayed alive. Reverse polarity still up as well. As Solo is gonna get killed off on this bottom lane. No chance of survival. By himself. Pushing the lane out on the wrong side of the map. Too risky. No PGG to save his life. He was there for PGG in the meantime though, yeah. You know, we got to keep an eye on this, but you know what this is gonna happen. You know what the Broodmother effect. It's the Broodmother effect. Leaving a hero alone on the lane that will push your lane out when you don't do anything about it. That is what Nexus is right now. That Phantom Lancer. And he is gonna go for a heart, so he picked up the Reaver already. And CP, they just want to fight without the Phantom Lancer there. They want to have a team fight without the Phantom Lancer, find the opponents without the Phantom Lancer, take a fight, win the fight without the Phantom Lancer. And that is that's their goal, but is it possible? Nexus is going to be pushing out top once again. CP pushing out mid. This time we think, you know what, our sneaky strategy didn't work. Let's see if our not so sneaky strategy will work. Mana Leak there, Illusion's already gone, Manta Style being wasted by the Illuminate. Shockwave going through, there's at least a fortification, but now CP has to either back off or get a fight going and win and push in, because if they don't back off, that's trouble. Their own fortification has been pushed in, they do have the TPs and they're forced to use them. Next to think, you know what, I got a tower, I'm out of here. Bye. And he is safe. Tower, not so safe, tower gone. Still looking for him. Realizing he's still there. Double walk, 13 seconds cooldown. Manta Style, 12 seconds cooldown. Running. Should be fast enough though. With that drums. Those drums. And there he is. They still get the tier 2, but they trade for a tier 3. Their own tier 3, that is. And that's not worth it. So you have to either push on the top lane to make sure that at least Nexus cannot push on the bottom lane, on the top lane anymore. Because next time is not a tower. Next time it's a barracks. And Nexus can still push out a tier 2 top or bottom, like CP can still afford to let them get pushed, but at least they have to get something in return for it. They have to find something that is worth it to trade a tier 2 for. And they have to push the top lane. Because leaving the top lane open for now will just give Nexus the opportunity to go and kill off barracks. Invisibility picked up by Basils, as sentry wards have been placed all over, which is quite surprising considering they do have a gem. Oh, they don't anymore. Maybe they put it somewhere else. On the courier it is.
Tower is under attack.
Let's see if he's gonna stay on the courier. Probably means that, no, doesn't have a new item. He's got a BKB though, like that's a new item. But I mean, like, he's still got an inventory slot there. That was his TP score, maybe. Ward being placed here, new one, but can be countered instantly. But they don't have a ward there, so they have to go past that first. Hello Nexus, having fun.
Radiant's middle
And the real
tower is
Nexus
under attack.
already left. Rule the real Nexus, please. Stand up? No? Okay, he'll die. Dead. Look at that. Exclamation mark comes up from the Lena. It's just insane. This is just illusions. Dread saying, you know what? Ha! Stelliator so low by just those illusions. 4 staff up on the Lena, so more mobility for him. And it's just, I mean, this game, it's not really, I mean, we had high aggression on the, at the start of the game, but both teams kind of ended up on even footing, maybe CP a bit ahead, but with Nexus still farming, I don't know how much ahead you can call that, to be fair. So, fairly even footing they came out there. So nobody really wanted to take a team fight unless they really knew that they were actually going to be winning. And that's why we have a bit of a stalemate, if you will. I mean, CP, yes, they want a team fight right now. They want to. Like, bad. But, there's two things. They don't want a team fight when there's a Nexus involved on his Phantom Lancer, because that's not going to be an even fight. At least not for them. That's not going to be a fight they know that they can win. Two, they can't really leave their base for too long a period of time, because then the Broodmother effect kicks in from Nexus. Then the lane will be pushed out, then their barracks are in danger. So either they have to push out the top lane, which is not really ideal, because, you know, they already have got that mid-tier 2 down, and you normally just want to go through the middle because it's a shorter path, etc. But we see the arrow. We see the arrow coming off from Basil's, like, going to the tier 2, placing a ward up the high ground, and then fight in the forest. Ah, I just discovered what he said. I can speak Russian in drawing. There you go. Hope you were impressed. I am. Anyways, so CP, they want to fight, and they want to fight now. They don't want to be fighting with Nexus. Simple. 25, it's like, okay, what? You know what? We don't really want to fight because, you know, this is going just fine for us. We're just picking off towers one by one. We're even at your base right now. Nexus is doing the Broodmother effect just fine. So you can try to fight us. We'll keep you busy. But we won't actually fight you. And we'll make sure that Nexus is somewhere taking care of your towers and barracks. So, basically that. And in the meantime, 25 doesn't really want to go for a full-on team fight, because that combination that CP has is pretty damn scary. Pretty damn scary. And we haven't seen it yet. They tried, but we haven't seen it. The potential is there. I really would like to see this, actually. I would love to see that combination coming off from CP, and it actually works, just purely for the fact that it would be entertaining to watch. But 25 say, no, we know what you want, can't have it. Roshan is gonna be up again though, so CP will probably take that. 25, I'm not sure if they can actually fight this. They're gonna try, maybe. Nexus having his heart completed might be the thing that makes them think they can win this. They can turn this around. Illusions coming in, checking out who's where. Trees being cleared out. Mana leak up on Basil's. Pops a BKB actually. Doesn't want to lose more mana, but loses a lot of life. More illusions from illusions. That's of course something the Shadow Demon can do. And there's gonna be one down. Hello PGG. Square only catches illusions. Blink away. CP, they don't want to fight this. So one thing that I didn't really talk about just yet, but is definitely there. It is the Shadow Demon that is. We saw that actually at the G League. If you followed that, then you will know about this also, of course. We saw the Shadow Demon being a counter towards the Phantom Lancer, because if you disrupt someone, you get copies. Now, I have to say, it's a bit bad that he didn't spec that, I believe, because up against the Phantom Lancer, you want to have those illusions. Because the illusions that you make from the Phantom Lancer will create more illusions. So you'll have your own Phantom Lancer army.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
But you need to have a bit of longer disruption. Hello, Basil's Manta Style being popped TP out. Can he get it out in time? Yes, he can. It's just graduate damage. I mean, there's no nuke damage, so Phantom Lancer couldn't really get the kill in. Of course, that lance is only the only real nuke that he has. In the meantime, maybe 25 now thinks, you know what, our Phantom Lancer is big enough. This time we are the ones to look for fights, to give Nexus a chance to push. But this is also the opening that that CP would then have to make sure that they are gonna get that team fight in that they want. If 25 is gonna force out a team fight, then they may have that perfect team fight for them. Solo is gonna drop here. Basil's picking up the kill. And here comes illusions. Manta Style illusions, the blue ones. Just saying. They can create new illusions.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, it did show a bit of the potential that 25 is trying to go for. Like, distract them mid lane, push top lane. Have Nexus push top lane with this. But yeah, CP, they need that team fight desperately. Gonna go for Butterfly up on Basil's already picked up is the Talisman of Evasion. Gonna continue, of course, trying to get that farm up more. While the rest, I mean, they're just gonna have to leave Basil's to farm. They can't take the farm away from him, so they can't really do anything by themselves. So they're just, their job is to wait. The BKB Blink Dagger upon Enigma is all he needs. They just need to have that good position, good situation that they can actually go in. Same thing goes for the Darkseer. He is of course still building towards the Shiva's Guard. We saw him starting that a while back, but he still doesn't have it. He actually picked up a Ghost Scepter to be able to survive that Phantom Lancer. That's what he should be doing though, mass Ghost Scepters. Make sure Nexus cannot attack. And there goes the man-style illusions again. The Shrek Sun coming out as well. Illusions just keep coming. And they need more illusions, so they're gonna kill their own illusion. And this is what I mean. Their illusions can create more illusions, and all of a sudden, you have yourself your own little army of illusions. And you're a powerful Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon, spec your disruption. Shadow Poison is nice for vision and all that, but that's about it.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Gem of Truth said now up on the Lina. Still the same one, I do believe. Dread having StarLadder's gem, yep. He was the one that bought it at the start of the game. But he has his own one as well. So he bought two. He bought two in this game. As, wow, Dread more mobility. Like, he already had his Force Staff, but now also has the Blink Dagger. So the items are starting to come together. More Ghost Scepters. Hardy picking up his own one as well. Is he building towards a BKB? And they're gonna look for a fight, perhaps. Psittaci's just standing very back. I mean, this is what he should be doing. Just waiting until his team finds some people, and then waiting a bit more until the right position comes out, and then waiting until he can jump in with the Black Hole BKB. BKB Black Hole. All the way around, of course. And they find Solo. Blinded Light helping out, and actually gonna be helping him out escape. There is a reverse polarity. And actually, Vladimir's offering completed by the Magnus, giving some extra lifesteal potential to the Phantom Lancer if they actually fight at the same place. Because in the meantime, you know, illusions, Broodmother effect. Now also illusions from Yol. But yeah, you need more disruption stuff. And this is just, I mean, basically we're at a stalemate, like I already said. We're you know, at an impasse, if you will. Impasse, that's an English word, I think. I hope so. But it is still gonna go 25's way because they have a lot more freedom to farm, and that shows in the gold graph as well. They are now gonna be up against well, 7k gold disadvantage for CP. And experience graph, same thing, purely because of that map control that 25 has, because CP is constantly being together because they want to have a team fight. Blink in, Psittaci, first one to go in, looking for a Malefice, cannot find it, no people here. And with no one on the map, 25 things, oh, something's wrong. Let's wait and see. And this is actually the wrong one. Oh no, they didn't. No, they didn't. And they showed themselves though. I was for a second thinking that it was actually Nexus that had the Gem of True Sight, but they didn't. And they will be able to back off against the CP. Another smoke gank, another failed smoke gank. They look for that team fight, they just cannot find it. Though maybe it's gonna go towards them because Nexus leaving the forest, leaving the top lane, gonna go towards this mid lane. See if they can bait something out. See if CP makes a mistake. At the same time, CP is thinking the same, but you know, like I said, they want to have a team fight on their terms. They want to be the ones to initiate. But can they actually do it? Here comes PGG and co. 5 people through the mid lane, thinking that their Phantom Lancer is ready to fight. Manalika Postalianer who blinks himself away. Disruption. More Phantom Lancers. That's gonna be tough. But it only leaves one Phantom Lancer to create illusions up. And like I said, only level 1. Shadow Disruption. Basil's trouble uses Eclipse, but BKB's around. Basil himself is gonna have to run away from the illusions from the Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer ledges lances everywhere. Nobody died just yet. Another Manalika Postalianer. He really doesn't like him. No more mana left up on the Darkseer either. Illusions of illusions. You need to have those Phantom Lancer illusions. As Phantom Lancer himself, Nexus just clears out the tower. And it is control for 25. Their positioning has been good to make sure that there's not going to be that big black hole from Psittaci to try and, you know, get that team fight going. But so far, nope. Nexus has decided, you know, I landed a couple of lances. They cleared out the tower. Now it's time to continue my pushing on the top lane. No kills being done by that fight. Well, it was a fight, and you saw again how important that disruption is. How important it is that these illusions stay for a long time, because you create illusions from the illusions. But nope, Not spect. Okay, I will stop saying that right now. But you know, he's not leveled yet either, so I'm not really giving him a chance, am I? Illuminates. BGG might be a bit in over his head. He does have refraction. He's got himself a Desolator now as well as 3600 gold. And nobody around there again from CP, just in case this is a trap. Which it might be actually. Nexus is hanging around there as well. This is the real one, of course. We can see that they cannot. They realize shit soon enough when they see that there's actually a lot of illusions coming out there. And maybe with that double walk they think that there's a real one in there also. They all clear them out though. Look at this! They're fighting against illusions! How can you fight against an enemy that's not already there? And still picks off your barracks slowly but steadily. Like really, a couple more times and Nexus will have that melee barracks dropping. And he got himself a butterfly now as well. So he is looking very, very good right now. What is this courier gonna do? He's gonna be picking up the butterfly also for Basil's? Yes, it is. Butterfly complete upon Basil's. Basil's perfect. So we have 4 stuff now also up on solo. 4100 gold up on PGG. What is he gonna build? Maybe an MKB would be a nice one to have purely for that butterfly that's on the opposing team. Just to be able to pierce through that evasion.
One horn will do the damage.
Hello illusions! Where are you heading? We're heading to the melee barracks. Nothing's gonna stop us because we have a heart and we have a butterfly. Well, stopped anyways. Sorry. Long games like this make me a bit awkward. But it doesn't matter, it was still fun. But yeah, next is just, I mean, it's slow, yes, and the barracks do heal up. If you don't know that, if you're from a different, I don't know, universe. But yeah, the barracks do heal up, so, you know, it's a bit of a balance, and Nexus just has to make sure that he pushes this out continuously, no break. Bit of luck is involved there, of course, as well. As they check for wards, plays their own ward when they find out there's no ward there for 25 wards, actually, there's no wards, like, 0. There's of course, should be still the gem, yeah, Dread still has that one. 2100 gold already. Last time we checked it and we picked out a blink dagger, now we can pick up another one if he would want to, at least gold wise.
Double damage.
So maybe it's time for Yule Scepter, and hello illusions! Where are you going? We're gonna go to the barracks again. This time, might be different. It reminds me of tower defense. But they, like, you know, it's great. They defend their barracks. Good job, CP, good job. But what are they doing in the meantime? Nothing. They cannot farm. They cannot push. Because there's Nexus with his illusions. Oh my god, that should be a song. In the meantime, Nexus is not gonna have just illusions. Looks like he might be also gonna go for an Aegis. Unless, what was he gonna sell? Yeah, the drums. Drums are gone. Aegis time. And the cheese will probably go to PGG. They're still debating it. Actually, the other way around. Nexus gets the cheese. PGG gets the Aegis. Hello, 6k gold up on PGG. If PGG picks up the Aegis and he has got 6k gold, nah, he already picked up someone. It's gonna go for his own butterfly, okay. You know what I was thinking. Apparently, PGG didn't want to do it though. Not a daredevil. Too risky. That one big team fight could turn everything around. Illuminates. But yeah, we see it. I mean, they're stuck in their base. The only gold that they're getting is the gold that they're slowly ticking up in the gold that, you know, comes in automatically. And they're just gonna push. This time Nexus is here too. They want to go for this team fight. They have got that margin of error with the Aegis. Nexus is not going to be here anymore though, but keep in mind that even though Nexus might not be here right now, he can be recalled by the Keeper of the Light. So in theory you can split push very easily, and the moment that you start fighting, just recall that person that is somewhere top or somewhere anywhere else, and he can be with you in the fight. So it doesn't really matter if one person is not there. Even two. The cooldown on recall when he is in his spirit form is pretty short. I think about 8 seconds. I think about 8 seconds. Yeah, tower defense. How many of the creeps are gonna come through this time? Well, there's actually not that many illusions. That's a bit sad. But there was also no defense, so if there would be more... Oh, illusions. They create illusions. Yeah, never mind. Everybody's here again. Veil of Discord picked up by Solo on his Keeper of the Light. New items coming in constantly. Gold to mid. I haven't really checked the graphs that much because you know what the graphs is like. I mean, it's going down in favor of 25, and it's going down fairly steadily. Like, it's no real surprise. Oh, illusions! What are you doing? Tower defense on different lane. It's also fun. Yes, level 2 disruption. Already good, better, but you know, not good enough. Need 4. Need level 4, y'all. Skull Basher! Oh my god, that's gonna be the most annoying item in the game. Where are you gonna put that? You know, he has a diffusal and all, but he hasn't used the stack of it. That just shows this game has been passive for him. He's almost level 25, by the way. He's got himself a relic. Oh, and there's a recall. He's gonna be here soon. Abyssal. Oh yeah, wow. Brain fart moment. He's of course gonna have his Abyssal ready with that relic there. With the Basher. And his Abyssal Blade. We'll have a 2-second stun for Basil's, who just normally runs in with his Eclipse on and his BKB on, but you know, goes through BKB. It's gonna be a surprise. And if Lena was standing a bit more forward, they would see the sentry ward right there. There, now they see it. Now it's gone. They're just gonna go for this. Lance is going through. There's already gonna be illusion of illusions. Templar Assassin already blinking in. PGG picks up Yol. Can he get more? StarLadder gonna pop a Sheeva's guard. Gonna get some melt damage, but it's PGG that's the one that has his Aegis pop. Reverse polarity hits on 3. Score to the rest of his team. And that is gonna be the end of the Magnus. The end of the Enigma. Triple kill goal the way of Basil. Who's just bashing stuff, but it is buyback upon buyback because 5 heroes were dead on the side of CP. And here comes Basil's again. He was one of the 3 that bought back. Can he get PGG this time? No, refraction on. He's fine. Leshrac though, not so lucky. He's already dead after buying back as is Enigma, and everybody is dead once again. And it's a GG that gets caught by CP. It was a long game, but it was successful for 25. Their Phantom Lancer being farmed up enough to take this game in a fairly anticlimactic fight. Just a bit of destruction going through. And of course the buybacks were still there, etc. But, you know, there was nothing they could do. Farm, farm, farm. Exactly, PGG. That's so not your style, but, you know, congratulations anyway. But this is only game number 1. We're gonna have another game between these 2 teams. It's gonna be best out of 3 to decide which one of these 2 teams is actually gonna be getting the spot in StarLadder that 25 was occupying. I don't know. The spot of 25. Since these 2 teams are basically the split-offs of the former 25. So they're fighting for the spot of 25. Game number 1 going in favor of the still called 25, even though under different lineup. We're gonna see if CP can force out a game number 3, or if 25 is gonna be getting a 2-0 sweep. Stick around, we'll be back with another game. More Russian Dota. This didn't look like Russian Dota, was it? Like, really? Anyways, be right back, stick around.